the Revo stream once again. This time we have a Division 2 match. It's the second one we're streaming so far. It will be Wisdom versus Renaissance. This is the first time, at least the third time in a day in a row I've streamed, but this time I actually know some of the players, so I'm very excited for this match in particular. I'm being joined today by Young Pickles, and we have the lovely Soldier on our production. Everybody say hi to Soldier in chat.
Hi, soldier.
Hi, soldier.
So first up, it seems we're starting off on the control map. It seems like every team so far is always picking Busan, and once again we'll be starting on Temple. Is that correct? I call it the big drum map during scrims. The official name eludes me so far.
Yeah, and it's got the nice lion statues on the corner. Those are always fun.
Yeah, I like to jump on them when I'm on a. Just gives a nice little perch there.
Round one.
And luckily I get more shot by headshots by Widowmaker than I want. Seems like the game has started. Both teams are going for that exact mirror, except for the Moira versus the Ana, and they will be clashing right here on the drum to start off the map. The first wall off goes off, and it seems Hotel gets frozen and taken out, and Wisdom seems to be taking the aggression and hunting down the Renaissance team here.
We'd have to watch the replay on this one, but it looked like the first wall set out by blue team by NVNO actually hit the glitch. There's currently a May wall glitch where one pillar goes up. At least from my view, it looked like only one of the three pillars from the May wall went up.
Interesting. I did not know that glitch existed. I've not been playing a lot of May recently.
I saw it on Fresh Nuts.
Of course. Fresh Nuts. I'm partially to your Overwatch. It seems like the fight is going strong for Wisdom here. They are able to rotate some of their cooldown and one ult out and win this fight again. And they're going up to 30% so far, but it seems that Renaissance is finally getting a hold. They're building up their ult, and hopefully they'll be able to win over the point.
Yeah, we see a nice coordinated aggressive tactic surrounding their Rhine play here, and it seems like Rhine is on the flank and a huge
Oh, I love
shatter.
those shatters.
And they do seem to get it done and clean up here. It's looking very good. They are holding this with just few ults used there, and their ult economy maintains 3 to 3. We do have Brazel with the Lucio ult coming online, and it looks like they will have all 6 ults for this next fight if it prolongs for a little bit.
Ooh, that May got a little aggressive there, but she's able to get it out. And seems like both freezes are coming online for both teams. A lot of ults thrown out here and there. They're trying to pick up the thing, and Renaissance gets the couple of kills in. Now they just need to clean up the fight. Lucio gets slept, he gets killed, and seems to be that if Renaissance can get this point under their control, they will, well, not lose this one map since they're already at 99%. It seems that Wisdom was able to stall them out for such a long time to get up to the 99 percentile.
Yeah, a lot of ults were used by both teams there, but it looks like Wisdom was able to hold on to a fair share of their ults, and they do have an ult economy advantage, which is good because they did.
They especially have that Moira ult, which will help them out.
But
May gets staggered, she gets called out, and she dies early here, preventing the push of going in. I'm not entirely sure what that Lucy was doing there. It seems to me he likes sitting on the enemy Reinhardt's head quite a bit this game.
Yeah, we're gonna look to see a big ult from Alt J or AJ Czar. Or
Hotel is the. It's actually. It's Leto something backwards.
Jared Leto, but on the opposing team they have alt Jazar and a huge McCree alt by Goo Goo Gaga. He gets 4 kills in this fight. It's gonna be a convincing fight. They've been able to hold on to their other alt.
Going 99. It seems like nobody will be able to touch. And that was beautiful. Like I like the flank McCree there that is able to get around and just get that 3 picks of the back.
Score 1-0.
So next up, oh, there we go. We are in Mecha Base. Do you think there will be any changes, or will they both be sticking with the same McCree?
Well, with both teams playing meta, I doubt there'll be too much change. They may drop the Ana for a Moira, but it's tough to say.
Well, I always preferred the Reaper in this little close quarters combat, a little more brawly. And I saw a double shield with a Sigma Reinhardt as well.
1. Round
Yeah,
two.
that was.
Capture
It's
the
definitely
objective.
playable. I mean, I think the meta is up for debate right now, especially with the recent changes to Brig. We saw it executed by the GM team the other night. So sick, who actually reverse sweep that game. So I don't hate the Brig play right now, especially seeing it executed at the higher level than this. We'll have to watch. The May gets a big wall here. Diva is frozen as well as they get drag on the Doomfist. Fight is going well for um,
Wisdom.
Wisdom. Yeah, there we go. Wisdom.
And a nice stagger on the Ana there, and once again they're in point control. It seems like they're fairly confident this match.
Yeah, they're playing very aggressively, and they're also executing some flanks and some mid fight kills, which are really important when you know they're pretty mirrored in terms of compositions.
Like Renaissance trying to do the rotation here, but they still get caught. Oh, and another beautiful shatter goes in, and seems like Wisdom once is able to clean this up.
That was a monster shatter by Altjar. AJ Czar. AJ Czar, there we
AJ's
go.
are.
That's the one. It's like the Russian Tsar, the old kings
Oh
of
yes, I
Russia.
just saw on the sheet. This is Czar, AJ's are. Seems like he's having a very, very good game
Oh,
so
is it-
far. Oh, but he gets
Step
walled
up.
off by the melee. And they're using the McCree ult there, except the wall is still up.
An underestimated play by Nivno, NVNO, he actually walled the wall, which prevented AJ Czar from dying. This could be a big male. I think a lot are frozen. It looks like
Does prevent the Reinhardt from getting a lot more value with that nano boost, but seems the kills are going in favor of Renaissance, but the bomb comes out for Wisdom does find the Ana. I think that Wisdom is Renaissance is up now in body count, and they'll be moving.
yeah, I think this is a kind of a split fight, but it does look like Renaissance may be able to take this fight. Oh,
Oh, and then
Goku gets
they're
him.
gonna get a McCree, and they're still in control of the point, and they're already up again at like almost to 99%. And Wisdom got more people on point. They're able to get people out, and they stagger the way off the point, and the first map goes to Wisdom.
That was a pretty good performance by Wisdom, not gonna lie. They seem to counter a lot of the
Play of the
abilities using Gugu really did pop off. I think this is going to be his 4K here. He got 3 with his high noon and then followed up on their Ana.
Well, he's as well as getting the enemy McCree out of there, just preventing his ult as well. What I just really noticed from Wisdom is that even though when they lose 1 or 2 people, they're able to restabilize and just push right in.
They definitely did. Gugu Gaga. Really good performance. Looks like he plays a lot of everything. He plays Baptiste, Sigma. Just popping off on that McCree tonight.
So now that we finished the control maps, we will be moving on to Escort. Our current map pool exists of Dorado, Rialto, and Route 66. So far, I've only seen Rialto. Dorado. I really hope for Route 66. I've played Rialto quite a bit. It's not seen Route 66 out there much. Any reason, any ideas why, Pickles, why that is?
That's a good question. Could be it's more dive slash sniper oriented, and people are more into the chip meta right now, which I think is more McCree May focused or May Reaper focused, and not exactly the best for Route 66. And with the meta being kind of driven around this chip Rhine diva, it's just like a little less practice, maybe.
I just always loved like it's a fairly good like dive map, except if you have defense. I just have a flashback to that double shield meta where people were sitting on the gas station with the bastion.
Yeah, oh goodness, that the old bunker bastion slash Baptiste. Those were the days.
Yep, that's one of the things. There's a couple of sounds I will always remember is the bastion firing through an amp matrix and a nano boosted reaper.
Oof. Well, like it's funny because we get a lot of Dorado picks, I'm finding, and we're seeing not an extremely versatile, but sometimes different comps being played. A little more Ash combined with the rather than like a McCree, we're seeing some Ash or even Junkrat being played a little bit, just because there are tighter chokes, but also a lot of high ground, which is fun to watch. And you still have that important Rhine Diva frontline combo, often with a Moira or an Ana. Seal being so meta right now is just kind of a part of every comp. But
Recently,
once
I'll go ahead. Sorry.
I was just saying once again, it's sometimes we're seeing that Lucio swapped out for Brig and to very good results. Seems Brig's still really good in this compositional meta because she can sustain but do damage and push with her Rhine. I think Rhine and Brig's ability to play together is just sometimes uh, being utilized to amazing results. And we saw that the other night when our GM division, So Sick, took that reverse sweep.
You still have to respect her, and like especially for a Reinhardt like ACHR, if you have that sprig next to him that can stun the enemy Reinhardt every single time when he wants to shatter, that will never get stopped. On the
Yeah,
other hand, like I believe a little while ago, I did see a Pharah Mercy on first point in Dorado, which is always a lovely pick in my opinion. It's just that rooftop high ground just gets so much value from a Pharah.
yeah. I mean, yeah, Dorado you can see. You often do see on attack the Fair Mercy because there is a lot of good coverage to use. Um, and it makes it harder for the hit scan player when the team is forced to rotate under the bridge if they can't maintain the high ground for a long enough time. Like oftentimes their Fair Mercy will just set up on left side coming out of spawn, use coverage, either boop them off the high ground, which a lot of teams like to play high ground, or if they even play in the room here, which is a good strat for stalling, delaying, using like the May Reaper combo. There's so much chip damage and splash damage that Farah and Mercy can put out. So it's not a bad pick at all on this map. And I think the McCree right now being played so much on ladder, Owl is making it maybe less of a smart pick, but still viable.
Well, it's I think it's actually still a good pick because I PTR he recently had like a little experimentation there when they gave him a little more HP. I believe if that went through, it might be a little more dangerous for Farah there. But I think the main reason is going to be the Diva. Just with her high mobility, I think she's able to zone out Farah quite a bit.
Well, we're gonna see Wisdom playing on the low ground rather than the high ground, which I don't hate. And I think that's a yeah, that's a BAP, which is interesting to see.
I've actually seen quite a bit back recently. It seems like they do still do prefer that immortality feel to just get out of jail free.
Yeah, I mean, in team play, I see it working really well, and he kind of uses it early here in a weird spot. Not in love with this placement, I think that Renaissance can make a good push at it, but Ryan goes down to Gugu, and that's an early pick that's going to stop this push out of their spawn. They're going to be able to push through it. Hollow gets NVNO though, which is a massive pick. It basically stops him from being able to hold here. Uh, I think that they should back up ultimately. The respawn advantage is just too huge
Yeah,
here for
still
them.
seems like they still try to pick it. It might have worked if they sent the Lucia back for a quick tax, but it seems they're trying to just, even if they're dead baddies, just get a little more time out there.
Uh,
It seems like that Reinhardt's isolated there, but it seems the Mortality Field is saving him there, and they're going back, and the picks are going back in the favor of Wisdom. Seems like even though they were down, they were still able to stall long enough to get the picks here.
yeah, that's actually really interesting to see. They basically won a 5v6 there. May basically came back at the very end of that fight, and the high ground that they were able to take allowed them to dominate that fight. It was kind of one-sided. I was really shocked to see that.
Seems a little more of the target focusing missing on the Renaissance size.
Certainly
They
could
had
be
the
the
they
case.
had the Diva frozen, and she did survive that. Oh, and the wall up for the McCree just to get those 2 extra picks, and then another shatter on Czar in the back here.
Oh, and we see an ult by Jared and or Otel in the back after his team is dead. It's really unfortunate to see. Losing that Rhino is really difficult now for them to push out of here, and they're being kind of camped. And you see the BAP and Diva just sitting on the high ground.
Well, not just that. If you,
Dom,
what also notice like the ult advantage is so much in complete favor of Wisdom. They just use 2 ults there to fight everything off, and they still sitting on 4 ults. Especially with McCree on high ground and having that, or actually on the low ground, just having McCree and a Baptiste all together is just going to be quite a bit of value.
Renaissance dives the Baptiste, and he manages to Diva and oh, and a huge blizzard. It's gonna get both tanks on the front line. We're gonna see a counter blizzard and a bomb come out, but it looks like it's still gonna go for wisdom. And Renaissance unfortunately uses a bunch of ults there. It does not produce many kills, and we see Gugu and Sully just pushing in the back line, and it's just gonna keep staggering and killing them. Unfortunate for our friends
And
at
there comes out the
Renaissance.
Parapic. It seems like Renaissance is trying to alter what they're trying to do, trying to go for the dive, maybe get the Baptiste and McCree out of there. They did lose the McCree set. They did lose the Baptiste that fight. I just realized he just came back. So and again, they won another 5v4 with the main healer.
See if
But here
Drag.
we see the Fair Mercy trying to put pressure on the high ground here. Oh,
Oh, and
and they get the
Hollow
big
gets a
pick here.
huge pick. This could be what Renaissance needed to get out of this spawn here.
Oh,
And
and
really
the
change the
sleep
game.
on the McCree. Beautiful.
Yeah, we see the fight being taken by Sar to the Reinhardt. Hotel gets ulted, and it's just a matter of them cleaning up the point now.
But
And
even though, if you look at the clock, it's less than 10 seconds remaining for Renaissance here. That even though they won the fight, it just took such a long time. Wisdom being able to stall it out, and now they still have the chance of holding that first choke underneath the bridge.
yeah, we see four ults online for Wisdom, and the McCree ult's going to be the big factor here because he's basically him and them and Diva. Oh, but Dreg gets him in the corner. Looks almost AFK in the corner. It's kind of weird to see. The big ult coming in the back
Oh,
line by
but the
Drag.
Pharaoh's able to pick a couple up here, and it seems like Renaissance is winning.
Yeah, they're gonna be able to push this through. I don't think they're gonna be able to contest Wisdom Overwatch that is, and it's kind of a game changer.
I'm very happy for them. They were able to trade out their one ult of the barrage versus the 4 ults that Wisdom used in that fight to recontest points.
Jabo tossing that nade across the map.
Well, you always try for that lucky nade.
It's gonna be important for Jared to get this huge
Oh,
shatter.
beautiful shatter there by Otel, able to stop the McCree high noon and, well, basically kill most of the enemy.
Yeah,
It's cleaned up very fast, so they're able to get a little more push here.
you know, Renaissance may have found Wisdom's weak spot here. There's This Fair Mercy is proving to be powerful. They've continued to play May McCree. They've actually switched off the McCree.
Yes, that's what I just noticed as well. They switched it for Hanzo.
This seems like a poor decision by them to do this. I think the McCree was integral, and Hollow now picking off Nivno again. This bomb is not going to really get anything, I don't think. And Farah just continues to reap through the skies.
It just with the recent changes to his like projectile speed, he's no longer that hit scan that he used to be.
Certainly, it's not as advantageous, and if
And,
Renaissance is able to get their Lucio, who is
and
stalling the
Farah again
cart.
has another barrage up, so this they need to res her right there, and they have enough like just that one ult to win the rest of the fight.
We
But the
see,
Mercy gets picked as well during res.
yeah, Gugu does actually. He's able to get a couple picks, but just too little, too late. And we see Otel just moving in with his diva, hopefully playing slow here. Hollow's gotten a few huge picks, but he gets picked off by Gugu Gaga. This Gugu Gaga person is very good, very strong Hanzo player.
Well, if he's a hit scan, he did play the Hanzo during the double shield meta, so he should have a lot of practice on it. It seems he's able to readjust himself to the projectile speed, which is good. And then
That-
here is unfortunately the disadvantage. The Pharaoh Mercy was working beautiful on the first 2 points, but the last point is just a little too much close quarters. And with Gugu Gaga hitting the shots he has, just the Pharaoh might not work anymore.
Yeah, his very good aim. Oh, this bomb could be impactful in terms of their push. We see Gugu using his ult here.
Using quite a bit of ults here on both sides.
He's
Oh,
not
and there
able
we
to
see
get
the
anyone.
value of the nade coming out and able to kill off the rain here.
We see Gugu still on the high ground, but the team is losing this fight.
And then we have Envy switching from the mate to the McCree here and able to take out the Pharaoh right here. Oh, a beautiful shatter by Otel. Let's see if he can follow through. Barrage coming out, getting eaten completely by the Diva, and he's get picks. And Otel unfortunately gets picked off by the charging Reinhardt in the backline here. Nate comes out, does anti them, but it seems that Renaissance needs to reset here with 30 seconds back on the clock.
You got to give credit to Renaissance here because Wisdom was basically hard holding them, and they were able to push it to this point and still have one last fight. It was looking grim for them, but they turned around. Drag is now on the McCree. They no longer are playing the Pharah, but it's probably smart swap by them. We see them
Here
kind of.
they once more. I would figure that they would go to the May just to get that advantage over in the tank line, but no, they try to merge it out here. Dragon kills off a couple of people, and round one is over.
We see
This
we see Gaga using his ult there in a very opportune spot. Really smart, just putting it over the cart, impeding their push altogether. They only have 15 seconds left. They have to approach the cart. It's really difficult to
well,
not.
that last point on a hybrid seems always fairly hybrid and Oscar seems fairly hard to do. It reminds me a lot of T2CP second point, just because you can come out and stall for such a long time.
Yeah, definitely.
I would like to apologize for the first map with the frame drops. It's been a very, very, very long time since I have produced last, and I had OBS set up for my development stream that I was doing. So I literally had 0 things set up, and I had like 10 minutes to get everything ready. So I think we're good now. I don't think we're dropping anything. I think we're back to normal operating procedures, and I'll let Mr. Young Pickles and Rins continue to speak in your ear the rest of the game, and I won't say a word because I don't do stream stuff or cast stuff.
What do you mean? We always want to hear your lovely voice.
Yeah.
Sad face.
Emoji sad face.
Oh, gee, sad face. Well, Well, you've done this for 6 seasons now, so you get to just sit there and just listen.
Well, we see the Pharah on defense. I like it. I don't hate it. And actually a counter Pharah. So we're gonna see the sky battle happening. And an early pick by Hollow Edge on their mercy on Geoff bot. Jeff bot. This is the time where I would think they might drop off the high ground and use their advantage, but they continue to sit up there. We see Diva putting pressure on their Pharah without a mercy though, so oh no, mercy's back.
Seems like Hollow might be a little caught out here. But it seems like they're able to stall there, and here comes the first lovely hurdle of this map, that choke right there. Favored by May, hated by Reinhardt. Here we come, the wall comes up, and Hotel goes down. Now Wisdom has a little bit of momentum. They're pushing forward, zoning out the Fair Mercy and the rest of the team. But once again, the Ana on Dabo is able to hit quite a bit of anti-nades. I would love a little more follow-up there from the rest of Renaissance, but just the anti-nade just zones him out. Oh, and a beautiful shot from Dreg on the enemy Pharah there. And seems like Renaissance is able to recontest, but the Nano Boost comes out for Wisdom. And Czar is cleaning house on the floor here. Just swinging along, fairly happy, doing it Reinhardt things, going in the back. Seems like there's no stopping him here.
Yeah, it seems that unfortunately, AJ Czar is able to push through Hotel way faster than vice versa. Even though they had the pick, Drake did pick off Nivno in the air, and yet they still lost that frontline fight.
Oh,
So
and
really
another shatter here comes out for him. Retreats a little bit there with the Winston bubble coming in.
well, we see a lot of ults being used here. Drake does get a couple, or he gets 2 plus the 1 plus the mech, and I think Renaissance is able to regroup here and take the advantage. But
It seems like the Nano went on the Diva instead of the Pharah, so the Nano Barrage did not come out in full force.
it's still a hold for Renaissance. The Wisdom's gonna be able to regroup here. I don't hate the full dive composition coming out of Renaissance to just avoid AJ Czar, who seems to be doing a lot of damage, and just take their mobility to the streets.
Double bomb coming out.
Oh, only Slow gets one actually, and Dreg gets Gugu, so it's gonna be a cleanup, I think, for Renaissance here, assuming nobody gets
And
picked.
Hotel jumping here and just isolating the team, and Czar gets bullied into the corner and taken out. I love dive on the second point. That high ground just overlooking the entire path of the payload is just well, it's just there. It's kind of hard for if you don't have dive to contest that high ground, and as long as you have Hollow out there and the Pharah, the Mercy, it's just very hard to contest. But it seems like Wisdom is coming out. They're getting the 3 picks here right at the start of the fight with their Pharah.
It seems they put a lot of reliance here on Gaga. They switch off Nivno from the Pharah, and they put Gugu, and this Gugu figure just puts on the carry shoes and picks off 4. You know, we've seen Nivno on the projectile DPS until this moment, and he just came out rocking.
Well, and Wisdom is changing over to the legs. I believe that's the first time I've seen that, but gets picked up by the Fair Mercy. And I think we should give a little credit here to Sully, as he's able to go with the Fair Mercy, DM where he needs to, and able to just make a lot of space for them. He does get zoned out here by the soldier, but no worries.
Oh, Dreg gets at least true donger, but it's looking a little grim for Renaissance here, and I think that this could be, yeah, this is 1
Mercy's
point.
not hiding on point here.
Oh, she's able to stall quite a bit. They're gonna have 3.5 minutes to push this about 500 meters now.
Seems like Renaissance is really good at the aero combat, but they still have to win the ground combat against Czar, who's just shining on the Reinhardt here.
Yeah, that's the difficulty here, is balancing the heals for your Pharah versus your Reinhardt in your front line. And if a diva like Slow is eating a lot of your Ana nades or your Moira orbs, it's going to be really difficult to keep up your Reinhardt. Even though Dreg is winning a lot of those wars. Here's a bomb that
comes in.
Ooh, both bombs do not hit anything. So this fight comes down to a couple ults,
So
maybe.
it's a fairly chicken fight here, just trying to like bait out the cooldowns from the enemy team, maybe a couple ults.
We see
And
Zar.
Zar is nana boosted here, and he's been focused down fairly hard, but he's able to come out. They get the picks on the front line, the back line, 1 DPS down, only Diva and Lucy on point, but it seems like Zar is just cleaning up, and Wisdom wins the second map. This is a stellar performance here by both Zar and Sully and the rest of the Wisdom team.
Yeah, it's a really good plays by Zar in coordination with his Ana, and also their McCree. This is such a huge shatter by Otal. This is, you know, after they had been struggling to get out of their spawn, they keep pushing, they're using their ult advantage. Beautiful play.
That just seems like a big stress relief. Like, Otel has been booped around a little bit, a little bullied here and there, and it seems like that shatter just like blew his frustration out, and then they were able to push, keep a lot of momentum going for that to the.
You know, we see Gugu Gaga with the 67% kill participation. Whenever you see numbers of 65% by a DPS, you just have to, you know, you just have to give them kudos. That's
It seems like they're carrying fairly hard.
that's some impressive numbers.
All right, next up, let's see. Next up is the lovely 2CP maps. They're coming up for the third map. Personally, I really hate 2CP. It's one of those game modes you either hold first point or the score goes up to 6 points. It seems like we might have a little pause. So while they rest the setup, let's plug a little bit of the Revolution esports stuff in here. If you haven't joined our Discord, just join our Discord. Exclamation point Discord, I believe, is the code for chat. Please do join us. We do hold pugs once in a while, and if you have a team that would like to join us for for next season, please show up. Otherwise, just advertise yourself if you are a player. We have a lot of teams. I currently have 2 DM divisions, 7 teams each. We have a Div 1 team, which is Masters, 2 GM. Then we have a Masters Diamond division, Div 2, and then we have another Plat 1. So there's literally 5 divisions with teams that are definitely probably looking for players. Always sign up, come in, join us. We're very nice people. Besides that one, we are mainly self-funded. I believe Soldier is one of our biggest benefactors in that sense. So if you wish to either subscribe or donate, Twitch Prime is always appreciated if you have that. For Patreon, just exclamation mark Patreon in chat, and that should give you the link for that one. And yeah, I think that's it for plugging. I myself don't have my own Twitch stream. I might get that rolling.
But I wanna chime in on that. So anything we do make profit-wise in the during the season, even out of season, everything 100% goes back into the community. The admins have jobs. We're functioning adults with good paying jobs. We don't need money, so everything goes back either to casters or producers or teams as prize pool money. And yeah, we as admins do donate a decent amount of money towards the prize pool. So yeah, that's true. So that does happen. But yeah, we like to give prizes to teams. The top teams, because in the past we did have only 3 or 2 divisions, so we could give more than one team, like the top 2 teams, prizes, and it made sense. But now we have 5 divisions. It really only makes sense to do top 1 of each division. But we've grown quite a bit, so it's still nice to give out prizes and have a decent prize pool for everybody. So this season, typically for this season and typically for previous seasons, we give the highest prize pool money to the highest division, which at this point is 2 GM divisions. So we got to figure out how we're splitting that up, which will be fun. But hopefully we have a decent prize pool at the end for like, I mean, even like $100 for a team. I mean, it's not super like huge money, but hey, it gets you a couple meals
It's
for
enough money so they can buy their favorite Overwatch League
yeah,
skins
exactly.
on their main account.
And we're always looking for well, we're starting to hit up sponsors a little bit more this season as well. We have some people trying to help us out, get some good sponsorships so we can get some more money in there. So it'll turn out. We're slowly growing. I mean, this season we've already grew a lot. I mean, we have 2 GM divisions. Last season we had 1, and before that we had none for the longest time. So but yeah, I'm excited for this season. We have a bunch of really strong GM teams.
Yeah, so get out your daddy's Visa card. No, I'm just kidding.
That's
We're
terrible.
not quite like EA or like mobile games that require your money quite off the bat every single time. But if you like Overwatch or more amateur ones, then we would love if you could contribute in some sense, or even if you're able to promote us by just hosting us on Twitch or whatever you want to do. Any more publication is always appreciated as well.
Yeah, a big thing to note is that any donations, any subscriptions.
You weren't here for that, bro. We already
Oh,
said
you already
this.
put that?
Soldier
So-
already perfectly
don't be-
described all that.
Don't be the double talk on them. um,
It's never a bad thing to remind them.
I
I
thought
don't
that
know. I
was
think
important.
we plugged ourselves well enough so far. So it's all about the teams, not us, right?
Yeah, I don't have a plug yet, but I should get on that. I've been trying to stay away from social media. I do believe I have a Facebook account somewhere, but I really don't want to know that people know what my actual name is.
You know, I am not a
Strangers and
social person at all, and yet I do this stuff. So I have no idea what am I doing.
I do believe Revolution has a nice Twitter.
That would be All Shape. You can thank her. She is
All
the,
Shape, we'll thank All Shape. So if you're
Yeah.
here, say Pogu Shape in the chat. Otherwise than that, I believe it's a follow you do with Twitter. I apologize, I'm fairly
Yeah, it's
I don't know either, man.
I've been named Grandma Rinseldorf in quite a bit of servers.
Can we get like an OK Boomers in chat for us? So all 3 of us are Boomers.
well, I'm here and I know a little bit. And we're underscore Revolution Overwatch at underscore Revolution Overwatch, and for Twitter, you know, we're trying to make the T3 scene more than it is. And here at Revolution, now that we have somewhat of a T3 scene, it's important to follow and like the people in that scene to make it something more than it is. You know, it's unfortunate the way that Overwatch treats the up and comers and all those likes on Twitter, even though, you know, you want to call us boomers, they're important.
Boomers. I mean, you guys can ask on MySpace too if you want. I like friends.
I actually need to look. I think I still have my password for my emo-esque MySpace page.
One of my coworkers found mine.
Disturbed, down or maybe either that one or Down with the Sickness. Just as soon as you open it up on like loudspeakers. I miss those days. Those flashy things everywhere.
That was my first introduction to CSS, and I don't know about HTML, but CSS was
Oh, I just
the
copy
hot
pasted
stuff back
from
on
other
MySpace.
people.
Oh, I customized the hell out of mine.
All right, well, are we almost ready to go here?
I don't know what
It
teams are doing.
seems like one of the teams is taking a small bathroom break. So while we're doing that one, next one, like we said, is 2CP. It seems like the team chose Volskaya Industries, which I've seen quite a bit. I did see Hanamura the other day, and we did see the Symmetra coming out for one of the teams. But Volskaya team is very stable since the Goats meta era. It's one of the lesser evil picks when it comes to 2CP, in my opinion.
It's always been my favorite 2CP map. I find it like provides like the least toxic respawn, even though it's still toxic respawn in terms of 2CP
Yeah, I'm
ability.
not totally sure. It seems like Overwatch after the Volskaya map just increased the distance between first choke and attacker spawn. 'Cause if you look at Paris, it's just so much longer, and I think the longest one is was it Horizon Lunar Colony, where it takes you a full 10 seconds to get out of spawn to first jump?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, that whole area is pretty much useless.
Which it still looks very, very beautiful. So if you have the time, go into those maps and actually look at them. But even when Goats was popular, I never saw like any kind of first hold on any kind of 2CP map so far. They like to do it on like escorts or hybrid ones where you're able to like hold right next to spawn, especially on escort ones. But it seems like on 2CPs they always prefer the high ground or that main choke. And there's quite a bit of megas and small health packs just scattered around on the side of the attackers, never getting used. Except for maybe that gold somber main who basically just hacks that one health pack and just jumps back behind her own team every single time.
Getting in game.
Alright, seems like we're starting off. I believe Renaissance did a couple changes. They turned out one of their support players for Professor Bradle for Professor AJ. Besides that, seems everything has stayed the same. What are you expecting out of this 2CP map, Pickles? Anything special, anything exciting you think they might run, or is it just gonna be the standard
Well, I'd like to see Renaissance take advantage of what was working, and I think that with the clear skill that Gugu is showing and the combined efforts of AJ Czar on the front line, they need to, yeah, and we see, yeah, this is what I was gonna say, Drag playing on Pharah, AJ is going to support him, and then hope, oh, they're gonna run a full dive, which I don't hate, as long as they can avoid that front line and really utilize the dive as well. We see J-Bo on Anna. He's going to be who's at most risk here. And now Hollow going on to Sombra. Wow, I like this. They're committing to the dive. This is what I might do. Because they were not handling the Pharah that well, despite having a really strong hit scan performance. It's gonna come down to Gugu Gaga destroying J-Bo in the backline or not, in my opinion.
Well, I'm just very excited to see both OJ and Hotel in here. I've played against them in the first ever division back during season 1 when most of the teams were still part of Nevermore. So it's nice to see them back on a team and back in Overwatch just since it's been, I believe, 2 years since then. But back to the game, it seems like Sombra took on high ground. It seems like they're running the ball Winston here, but it seems ball is getting zoned out here, charged in there, and it seems the map's finally going on to points. Seems like Wisdom is doing the standard where they hug around that mega down there and try to use it, and Drake gets a very fast barrage, gets it off and gets 2 picks.
So fast from Dragon. This is winnable now for Renaissance. Unfortunately, we see Otel getting picked off, but if they can stay alive and regroup, they are pushing their Sombra here.
Oh, and the sleep comes on Czar. Unfortunately, there's a McCree right next to it.
Oh, but he's woken up by Drag. I think it's kind of even now. It's been a bit reset. Drag had the quickest ult there, but unfortunately was not supported by the team, so he does get picked off. I like their split.
Still,
We see
dragging on the side of Renaissance. Wisdom is already coming up with already has the McCree ult, and the Shatter from Czar's also coming back.
Yeah, Beancan almost got picked there, but this is actually, they can wait this out. They don't have to engage on this Moira ult.
I think it was used fairly early and at a weird time in my.
I'd like to see a combined effort on Nivno, but Nivno gets 2. This is so big for them, and Otel does
now they have to deal on point with Czar, and that close distance on that Reinhardt has been fairly fatal so far. Oh, but they're able to get the pick.
We just see
4
Gugu
players still alive for Wisdom here.
Gugu is just popping off, unfortunately, for Renaissance. He is just, mid-fight getting 2 to 3 picks every single time, and it's, as much as their efforts are looking good. It just seems to be detrimental for their pushes.
Also seems that Gugun has now switched on to. Was he always Tracer? Or
Yeah,
just
he
he
was.
switched to.
Yeah, he started on Tracer, but Otel does get Jeff. This is big. That's their main healer.
And EMP
Big.
comes in now combined with a. Oh, Bomb of the Earth and Envy. Envy with the 2 McCree kills. Or Envo.
Nivno.
And Wisdom still control of the point. It seems like even though they lose a couple they're able to stabilize.
And sadly, we're seeing alts by Renaissance after the fact, after they've lost 2 or 3 people, and it's being really
Especially
detrimental
that
to.
EMP there. It came out at a weird time. There was a Diva ult or anything to combo with it, and with an ult that you can literally win any team fight fairly easily with, or should be able to. It's just always a shame to see that.
And now we see the swap onto. There's no more mercy for Drag, even though he's been doing a lot of work. And we see
Trying to
Ubu
barrage
Gaga
and
on the
getting
high
taken
ground.
out by the Diva.
Oh
Oh,
my
Czar
God.
with a beautiful shatter there.
Just a huge shatter and completely stops this from being a winnable fight. And looks like they're gonna hold.
Down to the last couple seconds. Doomfist coming out to contest. But even though he's the flying rocket of the game who just jumps out of nowhere, he's still not able to get the.
Score 0-0. Switching sides.
Yeah, that was a tough one to watch. It looked like there was a little bit of desperation happening with a lot of those ults after a couple unsuccessful pushes. Just a lack of coordination from, what is absolutely needed at dive, which is a complete coordinated usage of your ults and also target calls. So
And cooldowns. It's a fairly
it's very reliant on communication and use of alts. So when you see, you know, not coordinated alt usage, seems like the fights last forever, and on attack you do not want that at all. You want to kind
Ready
of
for
stack
battle.
alts, use them in coordination in order, especially on 2CP map. Not that first point is not far away, but it's so important, and we see the sustain just winning.
Attackers
And Gugu
incoming
Gaga
in
just on
30
that tracer using
seconds.
high ground, picking off healers is just winning every single fight for them, which is so big. Not to undermine AJ Czar, he's just these huge shatters which are just destroying the fights.
Alright, look at, let's see. Wisdom is coming out with the double shield Bastion and Baptiste strat here.
3,
Seems like they want to win this. They don't want to give up. They want to give this draw and give it to the Oasis map for the tiebreaker here. But they're coming in on dive on Wisdom here, opting for the ball to knock off that high ground versus the Winston.
Oh, that's a
Actually, no, on
huge
the
move.
game.
Both tanks are taking off high ground. It's left their Bastion exposed. We see Google
Oh, and
going
they're
into
getting
Bastion.
dove by quite a bit. No shield, no nothing, and yeah.
They're able to converge. It's a very good dive, very smart dive. We see Dreg dying to his own rocket, and Hollow gets res, but the chances of him living through that are slim. It's looking
Shooting
very
it
good.
directly into a Genji deflecting. The take is in, and Wisdom wins the match. 3-0 for Wisdom. Do they need to play the 4th map? Or is this
Yeah.
it for it?
play of the game.
Finally, we get to see that hybrid. So we get some Numani. I've seen a lot of Scrims row, but I really hope that I can see Numbani one at least.
Yeah, we're always a 4 map. We always go for points. I mean, they've won at this point, but the other team has either a chance to get a point or Wisdom can go 4-0. But yeah, it's always the 4, at least during the season. Yeah, the tournament's different little bit different roles because they only need to get 3.
Yeah, exactly. This season, your map score is what contributes to your placement for our finals tournament, and the finals tournament is what um your placement occurs from from the season schedule, and B, the tournament is where we have all the glory.
That's where you pick out the real strats. But it seems like I do feel for Renaissance going in. They've lost all maps so far, and that last one was that last little hope. Overwatch is a very highly competitive sport, and frustration unfortunately comes with that territory. So I feel for them just as.
Oh yeah, I've been there. You know, you're losing 0-3. Feel shitty, but you just got to finish it out and try to. I mean, there's something about thinking after going down 0-3 that there's a fourth map where you can kind of just breathe and just say, you know what, fuck it, let's try and win this last map. And apologies for the swearing, but you know, you just got to kind of take it in stride. You know, just release all that negative juju. Try your best again. It
You
is.
know, I don't mind. Well, now that I don't play anymore, um, uh, losing is not that bad of a thing. I mean, you learn more when you lose than you do when you win. So Renaissance can go back, look at this VOD, and they can pick out everything they did wrong and then learn from their mistakes. But
It is
if,
still the first match. This is the first match of the season. There's a bunch
yeah,
more
absolutely.
in there,
There's tons of time
so
for them to
it's
improve.
learning, getting better.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and like, there's a lot to learn from losing for sure. And on top of it, like, you know, it's good experience to be playing against a better team always. You know, you just if you're playing in a team environment, you want to be playing against teams that are either equal or better than you. So, and the nature of our schedule is that you're playing for a seeding. So, if your first game is going to be detrimental to your mentality, you have 7 more games before you play in the tournament. So, it's important to note that in your brain.
It
Now,
is kind of hard mid game, though. I do have to give that some thought as well.
Oh,
But
definitely.
there's both are showing a lot of skill. They're showing a lot of promise, and I hope both teams are going to do a lot this season. Actually, I'm hoping all teams are. Well, actually, I should not, since I'm actually going to be playing one of these teams one of these weeks, as I'm also stuck in Division Two.
oh, stuck in Division 2. Oh man,
Well,
so
no,
sorry.
stuck in
Division 2
Division
is so
Two.
bad for you.
I did cast Trash Can yesterday, and I'm just looking at Wisdom, Renaissance, all these teams. They're showing a lot of big, good performance, and I'm just sitting there. It's like, it's gonna be a tough one.
But speaking on what you guys are talking about, we at Revolution try to make divisions as fair as possible. So we've come up with different ways that we've tried to keep teams from just getting pummeled. We don't think that helps you at all. It's not fun to just get pummeled. I mean, you really don't learn anything.
Well, this entire division and everything else is it's to be competitive, but it's also to be fun.
Yeah,
At least that's
absolutely.
why I still play Overwatch. I like the competitiveness, and
Yeah, we're trying to. I mean, the whether we do round robin or Swiss or whatever bracket style is out there, we're trying to provide a good atmosphere for teams to play other semi-equal level teams. With most Swiss brackets, especially like OD, you're at least the first like 2 or 3 matches. You're either you're stomping or being stomped. It's not fun.
oh no, I had the experience of playing OD when I think before the first season of Nevermore with a plat team, going into open division and playing against high GM teams is quite a bit.
Yeah. So we division out our teams. There's naturally going to be a top team of a division, a bottom team of a division, and but we try to keep those. It's all up to who signs up, but we try to keep those divisions as tight as possible as we can. That way,
And as
it's
fair
it's
as
a
possible.
fun experience for everybody. Yeah. I mean, it's all about the fun. I mean, have fun, improve, and be a community. I mean, that's what we've been since Nevermore. We've tried to always say that, hey, we're community oriented. We're here just to improve, and we just give you a tournament to prove and show yourselves that you can actually do these things after you go through and scrim and watch your VODs and all that.
Well, we've had 6 seasons. I've played in, I think, almost all of them except for the last one, at least 4 ones. I think Pickles as well has played in a couple seasons, and as long as we keep going and keep growing, it seems like the strategy Revo's putting out there is working.
Yeah, I've played in all of them since day one, and
Except for this one.
except for this one. Yeah. Anyone looking for a washed up player? I'm ready.
Ooh, pause.
Seems like we have a disconnect. Seems that Jeff's internet went. I want to say Papega, but I'm not entirely sure if I'm using that correct instance.
Dab? Maybe we should dab?
I think that is more of a celebration or
Sorry, no, I'm just kidding.
clowning on somebody. Look at that. We're just showing off how old we are.
Yeah, we're old. We're old farts. What are you gonna do? Watching all these young kids with their high Twitch abilities and able to do 360 no scopes, and we're over here like moving our mouses 2 miles an hour and just playing Reinhardt because we can't aim.
Yeah, but Reinhardt's fun. Every time he comes back into meta, it's just such
Hey,
where it's...
I love Reinhardt. He's my boy.
Really? What's that profile picture you have in Discord? I can't quite see it.
The player, the hero that I literally one tricked and that was it. Although I do like Junkrat. Junkrat's kind of fun, but I don't think he's ever been meta really.
Oh, he's actually played with May on First Point on Dorado quite a bit by Pro Team. That double spam of that choke is deadly. Oh, it seems like Jeff is back. Oh, and we got on pause for 1 second. It seems like people are waiting to the R to get ready. Ah, we are.
You should see the chat.
NA's NA lobbies, the best in the world.
Alright, now we're gonna get some Overwatch going.
Well, this is Scrim's Row, so I'm expecting to see the Goat style Ryan Diva, May McCree, and supports are optional.
I really want to see another map that is on Scrim's Row level. Like, I don't think we've had a map since that's been as popular as King's Row.
Well, there's been a lot of interesting strategy coming out. I believe Goats was first introduced on this map. The Gladiator strat, one of the most famous one, came out this one. And I believe somebody recently decided to put a sim teleporter on the top of the statue and put a bastion on it as the ultimate sky.
I think we lost Pickles. I think he might have passed out. The old man needed his coffee and didn't get it in time.
Oh no, apologies. I'm here.
Defend objective.
I'm here.
He's smoking a bowl.
Nope, not that either. I'm just doing something else.
Still illegal in a lot of states.
I'm from Canada, so it's fully legal.
Well, I'm California.
Oh, you're
It's
in the
state
full
legal,
legal.
but not national legal. Alright, let's see.
Is it known to cause cancer?
Everything causes cancer.
Only in California though.
Rule 30, I think it's something 34 or whatever it is, 54. There's that this product might cause cancers on everything now. Furniture, it's just everywhere. Alright, it seems like they're coming out in a fairly mirrored one, but Gugu is picking up the Tracer here since he's been rocking it since the last round. Was that they're fairly even, they're
Huge
running the same
purple.
exact thing. Oh, a beautiful anti here.
But
Dread
really good
dropping
wall,
literally
too.
to 1 health.
It was a really good wall though to protect their team. They did get purpled and it looked really grim for them for a second, but the wall did save them. And I like the regroup here from Renaissance. They're gonna have Professor AJ's ult with Drag. As long as they can get Sully and Gugu off the high ground, but Nivno gets Hotel. That's such a bad pick for them.
It seems like both Gugu and Envy have been showing a beautiful McCree's these maps.
Oh yeah, it's been so strong from Envy, Gugu, and not, it's tough to mention your main tank without the healers, but unfortunately they don't get the same glory because it's
Well,
hard to highlight them.
I know it's hard to highlight them, but the amount of like aggressive, like Zar seems to be aggressive. It works out, but yes, both Alna and the Lucio has been keeping him up. So it's like Jeff Bot is just almost up Zar's butt cheeks, just healing him the entire time.
Oh,
It seems
definitely.
like they're trying to get the shadow, but this time he's spotted out.
That was a good
Using
block.
the McCree ult here to buy him a little more time to get out. The M doesn't quite get it, so they're getting 1 picks, 2 picks, 3 picks. Hotel coming in, Shatter blocked. And there they go, Wisdom chasing Renaissance back to their spawn once more.
Oh man, we just see AJ Zar just getting so many kills on the kill feed, like a lot of final kills. Really impressive.
Seems like a couple ults are coming finally online for Renaissance, so they have the freeze, they have the bomb, and they have the beat, and but Wisdom has been like rotating the ults pretty fast, so I really hope that Renaissance can get on point here and get a couple ults and get some.
We finally see someone trying to contest Gugu on the high ground. This bomb
But then
gets
he's forgotten, and the Trace is back in the backline.
such beautiful shield placement by AJ against Hotel, but a lot of picks, so this is looking really good. They're gonna be able to take this first point here.
This is what I missed. That diva, that diva stat.
Objective lost.
You know, one of the biggest things that I see, like sub GM, that is just a massive issue is people just ignoring a particular player that is just killing them, like Gugu in the backline. Like, you can't just ignore people.
Yeah, that's the difficulty, is balancing those differences. Like, oh, this is a big ult by
Also
Hollow.
comes out, picks up 2, picks up 3, and it seems like Renaissance is able to keep up a little momentum here and keep pushing the car. But yeah, just focus fire is always a thing. It's just, it's more about the issue with, I believe, localization and like localization, but actual like comms. There's I see a lot of player like Diamond and Masters who are not very confident on comms, so they don't like talking, so they get picked off and get killed. And unless you're looking 100% at the kill feed like we are, you just never notice that they. Oh, there goes another beautiful shadow by Sar coming in, picking up 4 here. Diva is a little stuck here, but Sully's getting her left alive without a mech getting staggered.
A really smart decision by Sully just to abandon that. Let them have to get their mech back by themselves on their own card. And Nivno gets him. Unfortunate for Logan. We see not a lot of ults from either team right now. Both.
Oh, no, they have a bomb. They have the shatter.
Yeah.
Montela's got quite a good shatters off. You got to play the game, I believe, on Dorado. So if he can get the shatter in, he can open this up for the team, and they should be. And they, nope. Freeze comes in. Zara just bullies them back in that corner, and then with the freeze, they're able to win this fight pretty clean. There's a Reaper in the background. It seems like they're having fun with him. I think that's the motivation there. Trying to 1v3. Reaper doesn't have his lifesteal anymore, so that's not an easy fight he can take at this.
This could be a big bomb.
But oh, Hotel gets slapped right after the shatter comes in. Another bomb comes in. Neither bomb picking up any kills. Freeze coming out for Renaissance, able to freeze both Mei and Lucio. Seems like Reaper's trying to get up the picks, but that Lucio Mei
Oh
combo was able to zone him
no!
out. Oh, and fight goes back into the favor of Renaissance here. Wisdom, yeah.
And Zara just with another massive shatter. This guy is a beast on the run.
10
And
seconds
as you can see,
remaining.
they lost both the McCree and the Ana this fight, and they were still able to reformat and basically get their and just recontest the point and just zone out Renaissance. Oh, another bomb from Sully here. Picks up
Gets
2.
one,
Last couple
2.
seconds, we're already in overtime. And
Oh,
see
they
if
get
Renaissance
Logan's back.
can get the picks. They do have the spawn advantage.
It's looking pretty clean for Renaissance here, not gonna lie. Is they get one more pick and Hollow doesn't pop off. Oh yeah, they got Hollow.
But Zara is
Oh.
back. Anti on Renaissance. Beautiful. Now, not. Oh. Did that freeze get eaten? I heard a freeze coming out there. Either. Oh, the Mei got killed. Was all excited there for to see a freeze eat there. Wisdom gets a freeze up. They get it on point. Able to zone out any potential recontesters.
I have a question for you, big brain casters.
Score.
So, why is it, and I see this all the time, and maybe there's a particular reason, I've never played Diva, so I don't know. Why is it that I always see one Diva bomb thrown, it blows up, and then immediately after there's always another follow-up Diva bomb? Is there a particular reason for that?
I think that whenever there's a Diva Bomb, there's like a reaction by a team to be aggressive. So if you're the second person throwing Diva Bomb, your likelihood of catching people off guard is higher because the enemy team is probably pushing further. So if you can place that Diva Bomb kind of mid to back fight, the team is more split and therefore more likely to, I don't know, get fucked by it.
Yeah, it's like Pickle said. It's a fairly zoning ult. You can use bomb in this case to be aggressive, and if the team uses the bomb to be aggressive, and then just rolls forward. If you use your own bomb, they're split up, they're out of position, they are chasing you down, they're in, just in open ground, and they'll have a couple seconds there to get into hiding and just get out of the Diva bomb.
Yeah, and like even if that first Diva Bomb doesn't get anything, that second Diva Bomb is even more likely to be more beneficial, right? Like you're basically trading ults for space, especially if you're on attack. So you saw there that the blue team, which is our
With
what's her name? Sorry,
Wisdom Gaming.
Wisdom. Wisdom used it first, and then our friends at Renaissance used it second. Like it does seem favorable in the fight because they didn't lose anyone. Hotel almost gets picked here right away, which would
Yeah,
really
but
suck.
I like that Wisdom is going here for the dive. You don't see it fairly often anymore, especially on Scream's Row. But Gugu had a beautiful showing of Little Sky on his Genji.
Hollow gets a pick on Jeffbot, and Gugu gets picked off by Professor AJ. Hotel gets the Mac. Hollow gets Nimno. This is a winnable fight for Renaissance. If they can get their Winston, they should keep pushing.
Seems like Hollow Edge is just like able to zone them out here with this McCree. He has a strong struggle over the map, and it seems another pick here. Good drag on the May gets a pick there. They're holding a little aggressive there, but they do have the health advantage.
This could be a little bit too overconfident, in my opinion, right now from Wisdom.
Yeah, I do agree with the fact that dive is fairly either instant pick or you build up those ults. And just that little poke damage there was able to get Gugu. Like, Gugu already has Blade. They have the Nano, they have the Blade, they have a McCree ult on the other side, but they have no real defense. Oh, Hollow Edge gets 2 there, though, with the thing. Nano Blade gets 1, maybe gets 2, and the Mario ult zones him out. So it seems like the trade for ult to ult went fairly favorable for Renaissance here. They did lose their main tank, who's switching now, who's now coming back. So they do have a little disadvantage here, but the stacker on the Diva should give them more enough time for their Reinhardt to come back.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like if playing dive into this composition specifically is never really favorable, especially on King's Row. So it seemed a little bit like a cocky choice there. And now they're at an ult disadvantage for another minute. Uh, if Drake does get picked here, it could be detrimental, but he gets a huge
Beautiful
freeze.
freeze there. The
He
beat
gets
comes
to
in,
everyone.
but Czar is just frozen. Another shatter comes in. They're able to pick up 2 here. Sully got a little on point, and the Moira is here in the middle of the fight, trying to isolate the Diva here. But yeah, picks go in favor of Renaissance.
Yeah, so that's big. It's a minute and a half. They could still win this fight. Not a ton of ult progression, only from Sully. The bomb could be big.
But yeah, they were on dive. They need to get the ults there, and with the change there, it just took so long for them to.
They do sleep
Gets
hotel. This could be
Bomb
big.
comes in. Oh, AJ's frozen, and oh, they're going in, and the bomb comes out.
Wow,
Wow, Czar and showing a nice thing with the bomb there.
that was extremely impressive by Zar. Like his shield rotation and timing was perfection. Very impressed.
It seems Wisdom's able to get the picks. They're on point. You can see that Czar, when he switches over to Reinhardt, is a force to be contested with.
Yeah, he
Well
does not
supported by
mess
his
around.
Moira and the Lucio. Seems like Sully did lose his mech, so he's trying to poke a little at AG here to get it back as fast as possible. They do only have to do an 84-meter push here, and oh my god, it seems like Renaissance getting back on the point. They get the picks, and it seems they might be able to rotate the point.
Oh, they haven't given up the point yet.
Oh, but no. Beautiful recontester, even though they're able to pick the pick there. But the spawn advantage is still in the favor of Wisdom, and they're able to clean up, restabilize, and get some time on the map. There we go.
So it's gonna be 2.5 minutes for a hold for the final map win for our friends at Renaissance, but you know the ults are looking pretty even. Everyone's coming onto their ult for both teams. It's gonna be execution based here. Hotel
Well, the fight will
needs
be
to.
fairly hard for Renaissance here because Wisdom does have the spawn advantage. Gets
purple
anti one
again.
for one. Both Reinhardt's out the game. The Moira ult is zoning out here the Diva. Maybe 1 or 2 picks more. Oh, and they are able to get zone Wisdom out here. And this is one of the other lovely points of holding on King's Row. It's called, I believe it's called first point 1.5. Just that choke right there. It's almost as hard to break through this as if you have the first point, and as long as you can hold it. They have the issue that they have the Reinhardt coming back just now, so you have to grab the choke. The M comes out for the McCree, speeding around the corner. Wall coming up, and it's over. Oh, and they get the pick on the McCree. Bomb coming out, zoning them out. Wall does prevent it. Freeze coming out, doesn't catch anybody except for the Mei, who's already in the first wall. Ryan goes in, bomb comes out, doesn't get anybody. They're trading ult for ult for ult for ult. But it seems like Renaissance is doing really well here. Czar even with the big shatter here, but the Ultel is able to prevent any kills coming through there. Maybe on the Moira there, AJ there, but it's a Moira. She can just phase out and come back for him. This is a beautiful fight from Renaissance.
Renaissance really is coming up clutch here at the end.
That last fight, I saw that they definitely were communicating. You could see that they threw that Diva Bomb. They were trying to get that Shatter in as they threw that Diva Bomb to get the shield down, but the Shatter didn't land, so the Diva Bomb didn't really do a whole lot. But it looks like they're at least communicating now and trying their
Seems
damnedest
like they're
to,
on their own. Reiner's isolated there. It seems like the Mei is trying to save him here, and we're down to the last 20 seconds. 1-1 picks, Reinhardt versus Lucio, but Moira ult comes out. Even though there is a nade on the Lucio, they're able to hold it forward. Mei comes, Wall comes out. They're trying to buy a little time off. Little bomb here, and we're almost in overtime. Now we are in overtime. Czar is, though, nanoed on point. He is a wrecking ball, destroying the Diva's mech. Shatter comes out, doesn't find anybody for the first time this matchup. But Wisdom is cleaning up here. They're able to get the picks. Only Reinhardt and McCree left. Shadow comes through, but the wall prevents everybody. And now Sully is in the back line with the bomb killing the last 2 kills. And with that, I don't believe May is fast enough to recontest. Unless they've given her a speed buff I did not know about. Oh, and Delucia comes in, almost able to touch. But they're able to touch, they're able to freeze on point. Unfortunately, no follow-up or nobody left alive. And with that, it's Wisdom 4-0ing.
Yeah, 4-0, and
Renaissance really came into their own the last time. I just wish they had that tenacity and that playstyle the entire map through, and we would have seen this definitely going to a 50.
I agree. I think that's a moral victory for Renaissance there at the end. Like, you know, they felt a little outclassed there, but they played really well in this last map. Like versus the other maps, they definitely showed up. So I think they should take this fight with a grain of salt and you know, show up to their next match with the same veracity that they did in the 4th map there.
Yeah, that was definitely a strong ending. That was good to see. I know a couple of those maps were, I wouldn't say demoralizing at all. I mean, it's just a little rough for Renaissance, but I'm glad
Well,
they
it's
showed
not
up
really a
strong.
swear word, but steamrolled is never a nice word to say.
Yeah, I mean it was a tough match. You know, you fight some tough teams throughout the season, and you can't be discouraged. You just gotta keep going.
Keep on keeping on. What was that from? Joe Dirt?
Is that Joe Dirt?
Is it
I think it is. I
I
think it
haven't
was.
seen that. That's a I
Classic.
haven't, yeah, I haven't seen that in a long time.
Yeah, it's been a hot second, but yeah, that was an exciting match. I enjoyed watching, especially the end of it. I loved the almost comeback. That was at least a very fun thing to watch towards the end. I'm
Yeah,
glad
it
they
was.
didn't completely give up, because I mean that does happen sometimes. Teams will just be
Oh,
like,
of
yeah, whatever,
course.
screw it. But
It's really
I'm glad they
tough.
kept it together.
It's
It's
tough to.
fairly common just to go the 4th map and just to start meme watch, but
Yeah, pretty
I
much.
like seeing I like seeing people just still sticking with it and still going through with it.
Yeah. Well, thanks for joining us tonight, everyone, and
Yeah, thanks for watching for the Scuff Cast or the Scuff production, not the Scuff
What do you
Cast.
mean? It was beautiful. Don't worry.
Don't worry,
all right.
it'll get better throughout the season. We're all a little rusty
It's
here
the first week. Everybody can have it up off time. Both
Yeah.
casters, both production, all even teams. It's the tournament where everything stands. If you f up on that one, ugh.
Yeah, yikes.
Or should I say fudging? 'Cause I never know.
All right. Well, I'm off to bed, everyone. Good night.
Yeah,
Good night.
we're all
Thank you for
boomers. We're
joining.
ready for bed.
I do appreciate that I didn't have to do this alone. My voice thanks you.
Well, no
Yeah,
problem.
yeah.
Good
For
night.
that, thanks for all the viewers joining us today. Thank you for watching, supporting these teams. Join us in Discord. We'll try to get something going. Maybe. Actually, no. I'm tired. I want to go to bed as well. Even though it's 8 o'clock. Oh god damn it! I hate winters.
Yeah,
Either
winters
way-
are the worst.
Either way, have a good evening. And again, thank you, Soldier, for producing. Thank you, Pickles, for being in here. You already left, but
He said, "Screw you, I'm out. Going to bed."
it's sleep. You can't deny sleep.
Yeah, thank you everybody for joining us. I'm sure we'll have more games tomorrow. We cast and produce as we can. We're not really paid here. We're amateurs, so we only do what we can do, and we have lives. So we try to do every day if we can. But we ping everybody in the server. You can go ahead and react to different rules and to different Get Rules channels, and we'll let you know whenever matches are coming up, and you'll be able to pick and choose what you want to watch. I don't even know, what do we have coming up tomorrow? Let's see.
I believe it's Houston In-Laws versus Shinigami tomorrow at 8. Other than that, I think that's the only major game tomorrow.
Actually, that looks like that's the only game. So
That's the
that's
only
shocking.
game. Well, no, that might. Yeah, let's see if we can cast it. I'll be around. I assume we can find somebody production. I think it's on you actually.
Let's see. They're 8 p.m. I will never be able to make that. I am never an 8 p.m.er. But let's see. What are they? So we have Shinigami. That's tomorrow. 39-25. So this will be a Division 1 game. And you said versus Houston In-Laws. It's actually will be really close. Their Houston In-Laws is 4001. So that should be a pretty close game if their skill levels are any kind of indication of how close they are together.
I actually know a couple people on the Shinigami team, and they are fairly good at what they do.
Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear. I'll be excited to watch another producer produce it. Anyways, but we've blabbed your ears. Both of us boomers want to go to bed. So again, thank you everybody for joining us. We'll see you again tomorrow, and have yourselves a lovely night.
Good night, guys.